You know what? I'm gonna go first.
The entire show. Okay. Justin, that means you're going second the entire show. So Cicero, I pose this question to you. With Tears of the Kingdom on the horizon, what is the best Zelda ability of all time? Any
Link's
game
ability or Zelda's ability?
Link. So and I will qualify this. You can talk about specific weapons. There are certain weapons that give you abilities, right? So you don't necessarily have to do like a magic wielding thing that he has had in the past. So a Link ability, what is the best of all time? Cicero, you are first on the docket. Go ahead, my friend.
Well, Link's best ability is availability. He is there and he is ready to do whatever it takes to win the day all the time. So that's the thing that you know when you sit down to play a Legend of Zelda game, is that you will have Link, and that with Link, you will win the day. Link's best ability is availability.
Okay, Justin, your opening argument.
Sure thing. Availability, I like it. So for Link, I went with a tool. Something that he had to get in order to complete his tasks. And availability isn't going to cut it when it comes to this tool if you don't have it. And this tool is the Moon Pearl. Now, Mike, you said you just started Link to the Past, so you probably don't know what the Moon Pearl is at this point. But the Moon Pearl in Link to the Past was meant to keep you from becoming a cute little bunny when you traverse into the dark world. So if you did not have it, you were still available. You didn't have no skills to do anything with because you were a cute little bunny. So this Moon Pearl kept you going as your true form to continue into the dark world and save I was going to say Galaxy, Star Wars is on mine. Save the entire Hyrulean world as a whole.
Well, I mean, I guess you're right? Like that is, the Moon Pearl is not availability. But the whole point is whether you're going after a Moon Pearl or Master Sword, or you've just acquired an Ocarina, or maybe you've got a beautiful, majestic horse that you've just found, it's you and Link together making things happen. And that is why Link's availability, his availability to you, his availability to Zelda, his availability to Hyrule, is what makes Link the best. And that is his best ability.
So you're telling me that Link as a whole is available. And I get that. He's available to gather resources, in this case, weapons, tools, to save Hyrule. So alone, Link is available, yes, but not very well managed if he doesn't have his tools at his side to help him along the way. You wouldn't call Batman unless he had all of his weapons. Superman with all of his abilities. He's available as a Link Hyrulean character, sure. But he's not going to be that hero we know without the tools that he has at his disposal. So in this case, you're saying Breath of the Wild Link, all of his weapon breaking, he's just nothing in his arms. He is there available for you, and that's better than having the tools at his arms ready to go. And in this case, like I said in Link to the Past, sure, you'd be available, but you'd be a bunny doing nothing to save yourself or save Hyrule if you didn't have that Moon Pearl at your side.
Batman and Superman are not heroes because they have abilities. Just like Link, they're heroes because they have heart. And it's not the tools that make the hero. It's the hero that makes the tools worthwhile. And that's what Link brings to the table every single time. And that's what you bring to the table when you play with Link in these Legend of Zelda games, is your ability to work with Link, to figure out the story, to acquire the tools, to make the most of them so that you can find Zelda, save Zelda, and defend Hyrule from Ganon or whatever permutation of.
You know what? No, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off right now.
Happens to be.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm unhinged today. I'm cutting you off.
Okay.
I'm saying this. I'm saying, sure, the heart is where it's at. You know,
Right.
the heart of the cards. That's what you're saying. Sure,
Mhm.
but the story wouldn't be very gripping you if you didn't have those tools and those weapons at your disposal. That's what makes that character unique. That's what makes that pop culture reference as Batman or Superman unique and makes them believable and enjoyable. If you have a Link with a good heart, sure, most of the characters in Hyrule do, but they don't have the skills at their disposal like Link does. That's what makes him enjoyable. That's why you play as him saving Hyrule. It's because of all the tools that you have.
Well, yes, of course, it's the tools that you have, but you specifically wanted to talk about the Moon Pearl. Well, the Moon Pearl is great, but there are so many other tools that are great. But the best ability that Link has is availability. That is his best ability, not just the Moon Pearl. Moon Pearl's great, but so is the Master Sword, and so is the Ocarina, and so is the horses. And so, there's so many things that are great. But the greatest thing of all is Link himself and his availability to you. Here endeth the lesson.
I just don't understand. With Link to the Past, you've got this pearl, right? For half the game, you're playing in the Dark Realm. For half the game, you're using that pearl for half that entire
You act like
game.
you can't get the pearl. Why wouldn't I be able to get the pearl?
No, if you don't get the pearl, you can't play half that game.
Right, so I get the pearl.
It has the most use in that entire game because without it, you would not be able to play it.
I'm available.
These other swords and Master Sword you get right at the end of most of these games. You play with it for 10 minutes, 20 minutes if you want to go back and play some other stuff. But the hook shot, all these are used for specific areas in that game to do things with puzzles. This is used throughout the entire half of that game to keep you going. And without it, you would just not have a good time. Sure, you'd be a cute bunny. You wouldn't be Link. He wouldn't be available for that.
Yeah, that's nice. You act like what I'm saying completely negates your ability to get the Moonstone.
No, you're saying that with availability, you don't need the Moonstone, and you do.
No, I'm just saying that what Link's best ability is availability. That's what I'm saying.
I just want to say Moon Pearl is rated really low on the abilities and tools. It's like one of the worst, but I'm fighting for it because I like to grow strength.
Yeah, well, I will still say and stick by the fact that Link's best ability is.
You could have just said the player at that point, Cicero.
He's there when you call him.
You could have just said the player. Without the player, Link is doing nothing. So the player is his best ability.
No.
That's what you could have said.
No, the player isn't his best ability. Link is the conduit for which you and Link go on this adventure. You don't go on this adventure without Link.
Okay. Let's talk about his availability in Majora's Mask then.
Sure.
How's he available in that?
Sure.
Go ahead.
That was one off. That was one
Yeah.
off.
It's a one-off to your entire argument.
Yeah. Right. It's the exception that proves the rule.
My case rests.
Yeah, exactly. Here ended the lesson.
All right.
I will take my point now, Mike.
All right. I'm really liking this trend of thinking outside of the box because last week Sean had entropy and just like the the sort of but I think I'm not going to fuel that fire this week. I think Justin got you by one of his last sentences there. I think it was neck and neck until Justin said then you could just say the player. And I think that's where he got you. That's where he kicked you down. So I'm giving Justin the point. Mike from Test Your Might here. Thanks for listening to this debate topic from the latest episode of Test Your Might. If you'd like to listen to the full podcast, check out the links below. Please subscribe to the channel over to my left and check out this playlist to my left as well. Bye.